Yo, what's going on, you guys? Your boy Pony Montana, and in this video, we are going to be going over an absolute glitchy play that a lot of people should test out for themselves if they want to move the ball a lot easier on a lot of people in Madden 23. Now, before I get into it, if you guys could do me the favor of dropping a comment, like the video right now. FTA for the algorithm. It doesn't matter what comment it is. It could be a letter, it could be a number, it could be an emoji. Your favorite team, unless it's the Cowboys. It doesn't matter. Just drop anything down in the comment section below. FTA for the algorithm. It helps push these videos out to as many people as we could possibly push it out to, and obviously it helps the channel grow. And the more we grow, the more content I could put out for you guys, especially if you guys are struggling on any side of the ball when it comes to Madden. Now, the play that we're going to be talking about is a play that is being looked at like a glitch in Madden 23, and let's just call it a glitch. It's not a glitch, but we're just going to call it a glitch because that's kind of the general consensus when it comes to the Madden community. So let's just keep it as such. So we're going to be looking at the RPO read flat wheel. It's possibly the best RPO in the game, and it's going to be coming out of the gun deuce close formation. Now, before I do anything, only thing that I feel like should be required is a mobile quarterback, and that's why I currently have Lamar Jackson, because he is the king of RPOs, and that's kind of the scheme that they kind of run down in Baltimore. So they run decent little option routes and stuff like that to utilize his legs, and this is no different. This is the same thing pretty much in Madden form. So you can only find this play in two different playbooks, I believe. So it's the Chiefs and the Texans book. So if you guys are rocking those two playbooks, this is definitely a play that I feel like you might want to utilize. You might want to test out for yourself to see if it's good or not. So let's go ahead and call it, because there are certain things you guys need to know when it comes to this. Now, the first thing, whenever you come out in this play, you need to look at the R. Boom. Squigglies coming out early. The R is an indicator for the read option. Okay, so the R, that's what that stands for. The P is for your pitch option. Okay, so you're going to be making two separate reads depending on where those two letters are. So if that R guy, he ends up staying back, then you're more likely to sit there and hold on to the ball and actually run the ball. So I'm going to showcase the difference. I'm going to try it again, and hopefully he actually crashes down there so we can actually showcase. But you see how he kind of stayed up? That means that we're going to hand the ball off. And once we do that, obviously we should, since we made the right read, get a few decent yards. We end up getting a nice gain of about 9 yards there, which makes us positive. You can't go broke making a profit. Simple. So let's try to do this again. And you see how he's crashing down now? We have the option to sit there and run. And this is one of the reasons why I say having a mobile quarterback is a must, because obviously if we can scramble out of there, that's going to be a huge plus. Now, secondly, we're going to be looking at the P. The P is for the pitch option, obviously. So once you see that pitch option is down low and down underneath, that means someone's going to end up wide open because there's not a pitch on this play. So right now, O is open. Boom. Absolute dot. And that's simply because that P receiver is there. He's coming down to guard whatever pitch route could potentially be there. As he's coming down. This was the guy, and he comes down to actually guard whatever pitch. And I believe he just went to guard this straight to the quarterback, instead of actually guarding, like, if it was like a speed option or something of that nature, which leaves these guys open on all four routes pretty much. So this guy ends up open, and obviously we end up throwing the post route instead, which is open, and this is open with a quick snap read. But again, once that guy is underneath, that means that somebody's going to end up wide open. So right now, there is no R receiver, but we do have a pitch guy who's going to come down underneath. And we see that he is the linebacker, so he's going to come down, which means that something in the middle is going to end up, breaking open. This is one of those situations where now the slot receiver has that pitch, and it switched at the last second to the safety, leaving who open? The wheel route open for a nice touchdown. Nothing is being glitched here. It's just the defensive assignment is changing because of the RPO. Same thing here. R1. bad pass. But you see how he wasn't the pitch receiver, which means that he's going to play his natural assignment and he's not going to fall for anything going crazy. Same thing here. The wheel route should be covered. As you can see, it was there. He was covered, but it's just one of those situations. Now O's wide open. Boom. Oh. But again, this offense is all about reading the keys of the defense. So even if we don't want that and we want to take it to the house with Lamar Jackson or a mobile quarterback, whoever that might be, we have that option to do so. So again, right now the defense is pretty much pressed. And once we press, it changes that option of who's guarding the pitch, which this is going to be pretty much open over the top for the tight end. Why? Because that pitch receiver ends up being the outside cornerback once they press. And a lot of people think that their play is being absolutely glitched out, and that's just not the case. So right now, the linebacker has it. So right now, I'm looking at the interior of the field being something that's open, and just like I said, it was. So pretty much your job, if you guys are on defense, just to help you guys slow it down a little bit, is make sure that you're using whoever the pitch receiver might be. If you're pressing your defense when it comes to this, once you look on defense, you're not going to see it. You're not going to see who the pitch receiver, who the read option receiver. You're not going to notice it. You're not going to know who it is. And once you press, it's going to leave that R1 guy. Oh, that wasn't wide open, but hey, we still end up making a catch. Now, granted, if we're playing mutt, we're highballing pretty much everything, and that's going to be a dot regardless of the case. But as you can see, man, that wide open for the O route, like it just leads to too many routes and like being open pretty much once you start pressing against this defense. But for those of you guys who aren't being pressed, you're just going to make that quick read on who the R receiver, the read option guy and the pitch option guy are. So once you see those guys come down, you will have, I end up holding onto the ball for a little too long. But once you see those guys come down, you know for a fact that you're going to have somebody wide open. My user is on the R receiver. So as you can see, the R receiver is there. Boom, absolute laser. And you just have so many different options when it comes to this because of you having a mobile quarterback, it's just going to help you guys out tremendously. So again, he keeps on doing that. Boom, dot on the run, laser. Let's move the chains. Let's score touchdowns. Let's just move the ball fairly easily. And all you're going to be doing is looking at the R and the P. And if the R comes down, you're going to sit there and it's just going to be very easy to play offense when it comes to this formation. Now, the last thing is obviously if you guys are coming across a formation that looks like you guys might want to audible over. So say this is something that you guys want to make a scheme out of. As you can see, there's different things, but we did motion that guy over. Now, why is that? Because if we look at our audibles, we have an Owen trap. And with that Owen trap, if we motion this guy over, he kind of doubles as an extra blocker for this formation, which now granted, no one blocked that person in the middle. 72 should have been the guy, but he didn't. So as you can see, let's just go over this again. 72, literally, he pulls at, his intended assignment and then pulls backwards. This guy here, 72, what are you doing? So Powers completely lacks the awareness to block the guy right in front of him, and then completely just leaves his assignment pretty much. But again, same exact thing, man. We can audible to that 0-1 trap, especially if it's a formation like this. Motion this guy over, and hopefully 72 does his job here, as you can see. And then we have a lot of space and opportunity to make something happen, leaving this play to be just absolutely dynamic. It's just a very, very hard play to stop. And right here, we have square open. Very, very easy. Now, I do want to mention before I get out of here, you do have to make these reads fairly quickly, because if you don't, I'm going to try to hold on to the ball here. If you don't, I'm going to show the replay as to why. Now, granted, you won't lose a yard here if you make the right play, but you will get a penalty. So you'll get a penalty for these guys moving too far up. So it'll end up being illegal contact by the lineman, and that's just not something that you guys want to deal with. Especially if you end up making a dot for a touchdown like that, you want to make sure that that ball is out of your quarterback's hands pretty much right now, like, because you don't want to hold on to the ball too long and end up dealing with, you know, just penalty on top of penalty on top of penalty. Because if you do get 3 penalties in a row online, you will be kicked for excessive grieving, and that's something that's going to frustrate you. But this is also an offense that's going to frustrate your opponent a lot more. So, oh, we end up getting tackled there. It is an offense that's going to frustrate your opponent a lot more because pretty much everybody does this as soon as they come out. They pinch their entire defense, and once they pinch their entire defense, you're just going to have a lot. You're going to have a lot of space and opportunity to do a lot of things when it comes to running this play specifically. Why? Because that pitch option and that read option pretty much go crazy when it comes to this. As you can see, tight end, wide open, touchdown. Let's go. My name is Pony Montana. If you guys haven't already, not tune into this play, but check this play out. Let me know if you guys like it. Let me know if there's a better way to run it. I like motioning this guy out because it gives those options on 3 different outs, 3 different options on that right side, especially if we're running that way. Especially if you have a nice receiver on this side, you know, there's just so many different things you guys could do. But my name is Pony Montana. If you found this tip helpful, leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new, comment down below on anything you guys are looking to need help for on Madden, and I'll see y'all in the next one, man. As always, 2 fingers, deuces, and peace out, you guys.